So with the American dream of pretty much home ownership has been eliminated, it's obsolete, it's no more. There's this TikTok guy by the name of Freddie Smith, FM Smith 319, who's a realtor, based in Orlando, Florida, where he continues to make videos talk about how messed up the housing market is, and that pretty much, people can't afford homes. If you make $50,000-$60,000 a year, you can't afford home, which is true. You have to make somewhere up $100,000 plus with little to no debt to even have a shot, not for sure guarantee that you qualify, to even have a shot at qualifying for a home. And that home is probably a 1-story, 2 to 3 bedroom, half a bathroom home. And then you're going to get killed with the property tax, the closing costs, and every other thing that comes with the maintenance of a home. And he made this video, which I saved again, is from his TikTok page, which he talks about why they're making homes so expensive now that these big time corporations, these big time banks have gotten into the real estate market. You talk about JP Chase has got in. Any of the big time corporations, BlackRock has gotten in. They're buying all these single family homes and they are turning them into multi-family homes. They are turning the home ownership game into the rentership game. They don't want nobody to own a piece of property. And if you do want to own a piece of property, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to compete with the billion/trillion dollar companies. You can't outcompete a company who has a net worth of billions of dollars while you're making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, if that at best. Even if you're making $100,000, $200,000 a year, that's nowhere near compared to the billions of dollars that these corporations and companies are bringing in yearly, sometimes semi-yearly. So let's take a look at what this guy had to say, and I'll include my commentary throughout the video.
19,000 homes, not apartments, homes in the metro are owned by 3.
And as you can see, we need to stop the corporations from buying up all these homes. I completely agree with that sentiment 100%. There needs to be a law. I'm surprised that there's no law, but known in the crooked United States that we live in, there needs to be a law that says, okay, big companies cannot engage in buying homes unless you're a real estate investor. That's it. But if you're a big company like a BlackRock, like a JP Chase, like a Vanguard, you are not allowed to purchase any homes that's specifically for people looking to get into the American dream and own a piece of property to raise their kids.
Companies. That's nearly 1 in every 9 houses up for rent, and some entire suburban neighborhoods where corporations own it all.
The homes that most of these companies are buying are exactly the kind of starter homes that 15, 20, 30 years ago.
Not to mention that they're also buying land at an incredibly high rate.
Would have been first-time home buyer.
These institutions are literally stealing the American dream right out from underneath the millennials and Gen Zers, and no one seems to be saying anything about it. Owning a house in this country was a
that's facts.
Staple of the middle class for the past 50 years, and what these institutions are doing is wrong. And if they turn the entire country into a renter's economy and then they control the rent, they're going to keep people spending 30 to 50% of their income on rent.
Sometimes they're going to keep people spending 60 to 70% of their income on rent. These rent prices are just fucking crazy. $2,500, especially out here where I'm at, for a 1-bedroom studio apartment is the average price. If you are making minimum wage, there's no way in hell that you can afford that. Even if you're making $17, $18, $19, hell, even $20 an hour, working 40 hours a week, there is no way in hell you can afford that. Just for 4 walls. Forget about, maintenance. Forget about, going out, food, groceries, lights, utilities that need to be included to maintain that space. It is just fucking insane. And the fact that these corporations, Congress, these fossil fuels have let it get this bad shows you the agenda. They don't give a fuck about the American public, especially the middle class. They want it to die so that they can come in and control and capture whatever is left.
and people are going to be living paycheck to paycheck, and they're going to have all the control. One of the benefits of actually owning a house in this country is that in 15 to 30 years, you have it paid off. There are people who own a $400,000 house.
Well, I don't want to say pay off. There's no such thing as paying off a property, because once you do pay off a mortgage, you still have to pay property tax. And tax itself is just another language theft that the government came up to say, you know what, we want to keep stealing people's money. Let's come up with taxes. Okay. That's really what taxes are. You know, they already take money out your paycheck before you even get it. And the fact that, well, if I bought this piece of property, I still have to give you money for what? You don't maintain it. You don't look after it. That's on the property owner's job, the landowner's job. So why the hell are you giving money to the government for what? And most of the time they're using that money to send overseas to foreign affairs. Ukraine is getting it. Israel, Palestinians getting it. Other countries who don't need the money are getting it. Meanwhile, the homeless here are starving. They're starving. People working 2-3 jobs just to barely make ends meet are getting taxed out the ass. So taxes itself is just an illegal money laundering scheme that they made legal.
And their only payment is property tax and homeowner insurance for like $600. It gives you.
All right, I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen property tax and homeowner insurance for like $600. So I don't know what he's talking about that. Okay, where I'm at, I know people who pay $13,000 a year for taxes. Not $1,300, $13,000 a year for property tax. And they're not living in some big fancy mega mansion home. It's just a regular average size 3-4 bedroom house, 2 bedroom. And that's it. And they're getting killed in property tax.
A way to retire in the future with a lower housing burden, and you have some equity in your property that you can pull out and do things with, or just sit on it and be able to will it down to your children. That is the American dream. Why are we letting these companies do this?
Well, the reason why we're letting these companies do this is because these companies are controlling all these politicians. These companies are sponsoring these politicians to not stop them from doing this illegal shit, or they're passing laws to protect them from doing this illegal shit. That's the basic, man. And I'm not coming after them, but I'm just, for people watching, that's just what it is. This is a fucked up, corrupt country where they're not working for the people, they're working for the corporation. If you are not rich, they don't care about you. And there needs to be some type of uproar. I'm sounding like a broken record, but there needs to be some type of uproar. Gen Z millennials, their dream of buying a home with a family is crushed. It is no more. The American dream was for the old heads, was for the fossil fuels, still making laws, still passing laws in Congress, don't even know where they're at half the fucking time. I mean, we have a president who has no cognitive skills whatsoever. The American dream was for those old heads. They lived it, and they say, you know what? We don't got to deal with the debt because we're old as hell or close to dying. Leave it to the young generation so they could deal with the bullshit that they created. That is the American dream. It was never for us. It was for them. And now we're the ones, the up and coming ones, the young blood, the new generation has to deal with their nonsense bullshit. And the fact that we have a Congress who is continuously spending, not even looking at things going on U.S. soil, is more worried about external affairs, goes to show you where the mindset is at. And these companies are continuing to buy up land, cut down trees, buy up single family homes, build it up, and they say, oh, okay, this 5-bedroom house, I'm gonna turn to a renter's house. You can rent upstairs, you can rent downstairs. I want $3,000 a month. Boom. It's crazy. But let me know what you guys think about my commentary to this video and this guy's video. Again, check him out on TikTok. Do you agree, disagree? Leave your comments down below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Deuces.